But I guess the question I have for you is, can the president expect cooperation on anything from Republicans from here on in?
Well, the president has burned a lot of bridges on this health care reform package that he's rammed through Congress and rammed down the throats of the American people. The procedures that were used, the backroom deals, the kickbacks, have created a lot of bad feelings. Now, we're still looking for ways that we can work together with the president, particularly on foreign policy and as it relates to the security of Americans. We have to keep that. But all of us who believe in freedom in this country recognize that if this health care bill stands, it'll not only destroy our health care system, we believe it'll bankrupt our country. So to give up on repealing this bill will be giving up on our country for me, and I think for millions of Americans.
Well, do you plan to do anything other than just try to defeat Democrats in November at the polls? Will there be anything between now and then, any action you will take, Senator?
Well, Bob, it's going to be important that we help people understand what this bill does. I mean, we're already getting letters from physicians who are going to take early retirement or who are no longer going to take Medicare or Medicaid. I think as people figure out that this bill cuts from Medicare and doesn't pay doctors enough to see Medicare patients, millions of the people who they say are going to get insurance are just going to be put on Medicaid. Over half the doctors already don't take Medicaid. Businesses are going to be taxed. People are going to lose their jobs. We need to help Americans understand that there's a better way to do this, but we have to begin by repealing this bill that's based on government controlling our health care. So part of what we've got to do is just make people aware of what's really going to happen over the next few years and hopefully enlist them to help us repeal it by replacing those who voted for it in November.
You know, one of the things the president said when you all said that we're going to continue to oppose this, he said, bring it on, that he was ready for the fight. And I suppose one of the ways he is doing that is he announced last night that he is going to what they call recess appoint 15 nominees for government jobs that have been appointments that are being held up in the Senate. He's going to appoint them during this recess. And for people who don't quite understand what that means, what it means is they can go to work, fill out those positions, and continue to work in those positions until the next Congress is seated next year. What's your response to that?
Well, Bob, the president is mocking Americans who continue to be against this bill, and he said bring it on, and that's what we intend to do. Now, his recess appointments belie the fact that hundreds of his nominations have been confirmed unanimously by the Senate. But he has had mixed in with these batch of nominations some pretty radical folks. Craig Becker, who was in the group that he appointed by executive fiat yesterday, is someone who's worked for unions his entire career, and he put him on a board that's supposed to be unbiased arbitrators between businesses and unions. Democrats oppose this nomination, so there's bipartisan opposition, and all we had asked for is some debate and a vote on this nominee. He decided to circumvent Congress again, which has become his style on so many issues, and just appoint him while we were out of town.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.